Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I've taken quite the long sabbatical here from recording. I've been quite busy with classes, work, training, and everything in between. So I haven't been recording as much as I wanted to, but we're gonna get back into it. We got this week, this upcoming week is the final week of classes. And then the week after that is going to be finals week. So I have a lot going on. So I apologize now for not uploading as much. The documentary will be out probably 2 weeks after this video is posted. I just need to film a little bit more for that, and then that'll be done. Super pumped up to get that documentary out. It's taken a long time to work on it, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. This video is all about just seeing what I do, right? I don't have an agenda for this video. I'm not trying to educate anyone on anything. I'm not going to tell you to. Today we've got an hour and 40-minute run. We've got a swim tomorrow morning before I have class, and I have a lot of work to get done tonight and tomorrow as well. I've also got a quick lift that I want to hit tomorrow as well. I should be able to make time for that. But yeah, this is just going to be me training this week and you guys going along for the ride for what I do on the final week of classes and how I'm able to balance everything that I do between working, between school, between training, trying to run a business, and doing this. Yeah, we're gonna get a little bit of foam rolling in before we get started, get into the hour 40 run. It's just a light by feel run. So there's no specific targets that I have for it. There's no intervals. It's just a 10-minute warm up and then an hour 30 run by feel. So we're gonna get into that. And yeah, we're just gonna have a good training session. Let's get into it. All right, run complete. Hour 40 minutes down. That was 12.6 miles. So about a 7:56 minute per mile pace. Sub 8, that's what I was going for. Pretty solid run. I'm pretty happy with that. Just got the Man United Liverpool game going on in the background. Not that I really care for either team because I'm a Man City fan, but it's good to watch a bit of competition, especially with the lower teams. Anyway, yeah, no, that was a pretty good run. I'm pretty happy with that. Legs are still a little bit fatigued. I've had a lot of training and not a lot of sleep in the past couple of weeks. My average sleep duration over the past week has been about 5 hours a day or night, excuse me. So that's not great. That's not great at all. But hopefully once this semester's over, put this crap all behind me and then actually focus on what I like doing. Training and working. We've got a bunch of work to do this afternoon, and then tomorrow morning I've got to swim, and then I've got class, more work to do, another class, and I've got a lift that I'm going to hit. Haven't put in the plan yet what I want to do for that lift, but by the time you're seeing this video, you'll have seen what I'm doing. I don't know yet, but yeah, that's the agenda for the next day and a half. And I'll be taking you guys with me to see basically how I live. I wouldn't say this is a week in the life or anything, but you kind of get a taste of what I do week in, week out. But as in other news, anyway, in other news, we've got Lake Placid coming up in, I think, about 10 or 11 weeks. So that'll be pretty good. That'll be my first full Ironman, which seems ridiculous saying that out loud, but I'm pretty stoked for that. I'm really happy that I decided to do that race, and now I'm gonna be doing that. About 2 or 3 weeks after that, I've got US Nationals, and then I'm considering doing another 70.3, and with the goal of getting sub 5 hours for it, but we'll see how things play out. It's 11:14, gonna get upstairs, get some food in, and yeah, get on with the day. Welcome back. This is now being recorded quite a few days after. I've had quite a lot going on, final week of classes, so I've had a lot of assignments, group projects, etc. You know the deal. Maybe you know the deal. I didn't get to record as much, but I will walk you through a little bit of the training that happened. Yeah, today's Wednesday, so I'm just going to go grab my phone. All right. A little bit of training that's going on this week. I was going to film the swim Monday morning. I forgot to charge the GoPro, so didn't film that in the morning, but that was a 2,800 yard swim. I was pretty fatigued from that. Not fatigued from the swim, fatigued from the weekend, which kind of impacted that swim. And I also didn't get a lot of good sleep. This week has not been very good for sleep. The past couple of weeks have not been very good for sleep, if I'm honest. I think going back on sleep metrics, my average duration of sleep over the past 7 weeks is about 5.5 hours. Not good. I definitely would not recommend doing that. Tuesday, had a hour run with a 8-minute sprint interval, 6-minute sprint interval, and 4-minute sprint interval, and a 2-minute sprint interval, followed by the same duration of rest. So 8 minutes on, 8 minutes off, 6 minutes on, 6 minutes off, etc. You know the deal. I've done this workout 3 times in the past 3 weeks, and even though I felt the worst on Tuesday, yesterday, I still managed to do a 1/4 mile more than I did the first time or the second time. Interesting. It's pretty remarkable what the body can achieve even when it's tired. And I think at that point it was almost me thinking that because it was so bad that I put more effort into it, but I didn't feel as fatigued by the end of it. It's kind of strange, but you know what? I'm happy with it, so we move on. Surprised by it and still happy with it. And then this morning, I had a 2,500 yard swim, really more of like a recovery swim than anything, especially because of a lack of quality sleep and a lot of hard training combined together that does increase fatigue substantially. So it was good to get a nice recovery-ish swim in. A lot of 25s mixed in, and then a couple of longer distance intervals. Yep, that leads us here to now. It is 6:30 on Wednesday. Tomorrow morning I've got a presentation and I've got a 17-page research paper that needs to get submitted. I've got a lot going on. pretty much done with both, almost, but those are due tomorrow. And then I've got a 9-page research paper on Friday and a 10-minute presentation as well. We still get the training in, still get everything in. My sleep has been compromised. I don't recommend it, but you know what? It is what it is. Like, I knew this was going to happen. I kind of could see it coming from a mile away, but there's not really much that you can do about it other than just get through it. Yeah, I could compromise on my training. I could, ask my coach if I could, skip a workout just to get some more work done. But that would just make me feel like crap in a different way. I'd probably feel better because I slept more. I would sleep more, but I'd feel mentally crap because I know that was on the plan. And if it's on the plan and it shows up, I'm going to want to do it either way. But next week is finals, and then after that, we're home and hosed. And I'll be able to sleep at least a little bit more than what I've been doing over the past couple of weeks. And it'll be a good break. And it'll also allow me to have my full attention on this and on Ironman Lake Placid, since that is the next race, and that will be my first full Ironman. I probably already said it in this video. I don't remember. But yeah, as for training in the next couple of days, I'll take you through that. We've got today, or right now, an hour and 16-minute bike ride with 4 sets of interval blocks. So it's like 4 sets of 3 different sprint intervals with adequate rest in between. We've got 2 workouts tomorrow, a bike and a run. So I don't know. I haven't decided which one I'll do in the morning. Probably, actually, I don't really know. I'll probably do the run in the morning, but I don't know. I like running in the mornings. But we've got an hour basically on both of those, hour and 5, hour and 4 minutes respectively. So that'll be some good training in. And then Friday we've got a swim, and I think I'm going to be working out with a buddy again, hitting a lift. I like getting in a lift with with friends. It's nice. It's good to change it up, right? I do the same thing over and over again with swimming, biking, and running. Doing it on my own, it can get a little bit repetitive, monotonous, but we still love it. We still enjoy it. And it's definitely, I'd much rather be doing this than be doing some type of schoolwork right now. So yeah, anyway, we've got an hour and 16-minute bike ride on the schedule for today, for right now. So let's get into that. And then I'll probably record a little bit in the morning tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. We got an early start tomorrow. I'll probably be up by 3:30-ish, somewhere around there. So who knows? But anyway, I don't have a lot of time now, so let's get into this bike workout. 2 down, 2 to go. Got our 30-gram chew here. Let's go crush this. the bike ride done. Hour 16 minutes for 927 calories. Good workout. Somewhat fatigued from it. Legs are feeling a little heavier than normal, but that's to be expected when you have a poorer quality of sleep. But yeah, overall, I actually think that wasn't too bad of a session. I think that was actually pretty good. And now we're going to go have some dinner, have a little bit more work to do. Probably won't be able to get to sleep until around 10:30, and I'll still have to wake up at 3:30, so another 5-hour night of sleep. And then we go again. Got another workout in the morning, probably be a run, and then we'll have a bike in the afternoon, and have a bunch more work to get done before tomorrow morning for my presentation, and the next day, so Friday, I have another presentation. But yeah, I'm gonna go have some dinner now, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Morning, everyone. Welcome back. It is now Saturday, 9:30 in the morning. We've got a 3-hour and 45-minute bike ride to do. This past week has been absolutely crazy and extremely hectic, but yeah, we're gonna just get into this bike ride, see what we can do. And I want to talk a little bit today about this past week and kind of what I've learned from it, because there's, as crazy as it's almost been a sort of learning experience for me, and it's taught me something that I kind of knew about and was aware of, but I never fully acknowledged it until this week, and it made me really see the value of it. But with that being said, we'll get into that in a bit. Let's get started on the bike here, and I will walk you through a little bit of this week and talk about what I've learned from this week. Seriously? Alrighty, just finished up the first of 6 10-minute harder efforts for this 3-hour and 45-minute bike ride. And now I just want to go over basically how my week went and what I learned from it. This week was hectic. I knew that from before it even began, that it was going to be crazy with, final projects, presentations, exams, all that sort of jazz. I knew that it was going to be a period of strain, and I probably wasn't going to be able to fit everything in. And for the most part, I actually did fit everything in. But there's one thing that I really compromised on that sort of got neglected when push came to shove and I had a lot of stuff to do. And that was my sleep. If I put up a graph of the total amount of sleep I've gotten over the past 5-6 days, I think the average sleep duration was roughly 5 hours, maybe less, up until this morning when I got a nice good 8 hours and 10 minutes. But that's not the point of this video. The point that I learned from this week is that it's 2 things. 1, not everything is going to go your way. And 2, you can't do everything all out all the time forever. There was something that had to give, right? I always try to strive to do the best with everything I do, no matter what, even if I hate it. Take, for example, classes. There are certain classes there that I absolutely despise. I hate being there. I didn't want to take them to begin with. I can't understand why they could possibly be required in order to graduate, and I just hate them in general. But even though I hate them, that doesn't mean I'm not going to put my best foot forward or try my best. right? I'm still gonna give everything I can. Try and do all the assignments, try and do the best I can on exams. But I hated being there. So even whether it's the things I like doing or the things I don't like doing, I still want to give everything that I can. Problem is, when you add too many things to give 100% of your effort towards, it's just logistically impossible and you run out of time in the day, right? For me, it was between training, school, work, business, trying to get videos out, trying to do all of this. I've got a sponsorship opportunity. It took its toll on me. And unfortunately, the thing that really got neglected there, that I didn't even mention, was sleep. My sleep was compromised. And it gives you a perspective here. Everything that you do, make sure that you do the best of your ability. But don't add too many things onto your plate, because then you're just going to start building up frustration, and there's going to be certain other areas that are going to start to creak that you're not going to be able to do your best in, right? As a higher performing athlete doing Ironman Triathlon, I want to make sure that I am getting the most out of my training. In order to do that, I need to be recovering properly. And in order to recover properly, you need to get a good amount of sleep. That was compromised. And with everything that I had going on, it started to take its toll on my training. Like, yes, I was still working. I still got most everything done. But the training numbers were actually surprisingly better than I thought they would, but not to the point where I was happy with them, because things were compromised. I even started getting kind of, not heart palpitations, but I could feel it in my heart was being almost overworked. Now, I'm just gonna say this quick. I don't believe in burnout. I don't think I'll ever get to that point. Right? For me, I don't believe in burnout, but that doesn't mean it's not applicable to everyone. There are some people who will get to a point where they have too much going on and it's just too much to handle. And I get that. And I think I take more of a pragmatic approach, or risk averse, or risk avoiding, where I don't ever get to the point where I'm doing so much or way too much that it would cause me to spiral out of control. I don't think I would ever let it get to that point. Don't mistake that with me not giving 110% to everything I do, but I won't let my workload get to the point where I've got too many things to focus on to give 110% of my effort. But I sort of felt that this week, and I sort of felt that limit sort of getting hit, sometimes at points even exceeding it. We're just up to an hour now. We're going to have a quick carb intermission, and today we're going to have some Fig Newtons. Change it up a bit on these longer rides. Before, I would just use gels and chews and etc. But let's incorporate a little bit closer real food. So we're gonna have 2 Fig Newtons here. I don't actually know how many grams of carbs are in these, but I think it's around 30. Not for every 2. Cheers. That's good. I think everything tastes better when you're in the middle of a workout and you're desperate for some more fuel, because this tastes freaking good. Oh, okay. There's 20 grams of carbs in 2. Not bad. Good. But getting back to my point from before, it's made me realize that as much as I will always give 110% effort to what I'm doing, there is a difference between how much effort you put into one thing and how many things you focus on. And this past week has shown me that I try to focus on too many things at once, and that there is a point at which there is literally not enough time in a day to get everything done, and that's fine. And that's why I always try to improve my efficiency and make my workflows better, whether that be through having a notebook and putting down a GSD list. It's a get done list where I write down everything that I need to get done. I have a calendar. I make like a weekly Google Calendar where I structure literally everything down to the point where I'm structuring out when I'm having breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm always looking for that edge.
that little bit of where can I improve, where can I be more efficient, or where can I be more productive. And this week, I had so much going on that I didn't even do my daily GSD list, and I had so many other external things occur that it just was not possible to do and get everything that I wanted to get done actually done. And that's where I have a really good solution to this, and it's something that over the past couple of weeks I've been trying to incorporate more, and it's just the simple, basic approach of prioritizing. Prioritize what you need to get done. My GSD list really helps with that because I write down, okay, from order in magnitude of which things need to absolutely be done down to what can probably wait. So the top things are things like my training, and something that I should start putting on there that I haven't is prioritizing getting a good amount of sleep. But training, getting all of my classwork done just to get it over with quickly so that I can then focus on working and trying to run a business. It's really as simple as that. One of the greatest quotes that I've ever heard, I'm definitely going to butcher this quote. I'll give you the basic premise of it. And it's from someone who was a fantastic soccer player that I unfortunately did not have the opportunity to ever see in person, Johan Cruyff. And it's, simple football is the best football. Things are simple, right? We have simple approaches to certain things. That doesn't mean they're easy, but they are simple. There are simple solutions to problems that we have, but they are not easy solutions to the problems we face. Prioritizing is a simple concept, but in actuality, it is not an easy thing to execute on because we have so many things that go on in our lives. It is exceedingly difficult to focus on certain elements or aspects of our life that are more important than others. But the way we can overcome that is by having a sense of purpose and a sense of meaning. That'll give us more motivation and subsequently lead to us doing said things. For me, I have the goal of wanting to race in an Ironman World Championship in the next 2 years. And that has given me greater confidence and greater motivation to put in the work towards that goal because I have a why. I have a purpose for doing it. I want to do it because I think it's a great accomplishment. I understand the value of it to me. Not everyone will understand that, but I do. And that's what matters. Now, the second part of this that I've learned from this week is that not everything is in your control, but seeming as we have a minute before I get into my next harder effort, we're going to hold that off until the end of this bike section, this bike workout, probably later tonight, where I will get back into talking about this second element that I have learned from this hectic week in my life. But for now, let's get back to focusing on this bike workout, and I will see you in a bit.
Header without distance, O'Reilly collected, Bernardo Silva. And here's the recurring theme, Toku versus Coyote.
Oh!
Toku away from Coyote.
No! Oh!
And making a clearance through in front of the penalty spot.
All right, 3 hours and 45 minutes done. The Man City game is on right now, so I'm gonna get going. But not too bad of a ride, felt pretty good.
And in just a second, you guys will hear me spiel again and talk about the second thing that I learned from this week. But yeah, I'm gonna get going, get some foam rolling done, get something to eat real quick, and then I will catch you guys in a couple of hours. But for you guys, it'll be about 2 seconds.
Alrighty, today is Monday, and that concludes the full week of training and the final week of classes. It's a pretty hectic week, as I've probably mentioned about 150,000 times already. Bike ride went really good. The run that I did on Sunday, that was an hour 50. I did 13.9 something. It's basically 14 miles at a 7:56 minute per mile pace. So that was pretty good. That felt really good too. Didn't feel too hard, but didn't feel super easy. It's kind of like in the middle of that sweet spot. It was a really good run. But the second thing that I wanted to go into in this video, and for the sake of how long this video probably already is, I'm going to keep this relatively short. I don't think there's too much to talk about with this either. But the second thing that I want to mention that I learned from this week, you can't control everything. You control the controllables. You go with the flow, you roll with the punches. There are things that are going to be outside of your control in your life. There are things that are going to happen that you just cannot foresee. You cannot fully control, and it's just, it is what it is, right? When something like that happens, you can't get too caught up on it, right? Take for instance for me, I had a presentation that I was supposed to do on Monday. It didn't happen, and instead it got moved to Thursday, which resulted in my schedule being jammed and me preparing for a presentation for Monday when I had an exam on a Monday that I didn't foresee this happening, right? You just have to go with the flow, right? It is what it is, right? Could I have been better prepared? Maybe I could have, but you know what? There are so many things that were happening that I tried to the best of my ability to prioritize what I needed to get done and focus on the things that I needed to focus on. But you know what? There is just sometimes not enough time in a day, right? And you really just have to go with the flow. Is it annoying? Yes. Yeah, of course it was annoying that there was something that happened that was out of my control, and it caused my schedule to be more jammed towards the end of the week. But can I do anything about it? No. It was out of my control. It's out of my hands, and you know what? It is what it is. And there are times where we get so caught up on it, and I got caught up on it for sure. Don't take this as me, being the role model example for it. I absolutely got caught up on it. But it just is what it is. And that's where we learn from these kinds of things. It just is what it is, and you can't get too agitated by it. You can't, how do I want to phrase this? You can't let it be the thing that drags you down for the rest of the week. You just have to roll with the flow. It's as simple as that, right? But that's the second thing I really learned, is that I can't control everything that's going on. It's just not possible, right? For group presentations or for group projects or for something like that, there are going to be people who are going to use AI for it, right? That it's going to happen, and it's going to be partially wrong, maybe even fully wrong in some cases, but it is what it is. You have to adapt to it. Is it annoying? Yeah, of course it is. It's irritating, especially when it's going to affect you. But there's not a whole lot you can really do. You just have to do the best you can, roll with the flow, and keep moving on, keep making progress. But that's really all I have. Those are the two things I've learned from this week. Hopefully you can take something away from this and that you can transfer this into your own life. The one big thing that I would like to say that I hope you can take away from this video is, even in times that are hectic and crazy and you think, well, why is this happening to me? Know that there is something within it. There is something to learn from it. That's something that I don't entirely still do. I still can grow a lot from that, but hopefully you can take away from the fact that even having a crazy hectic week, right, where you have so much to do, there is still something good that'll come from it. Whether that be something you learned or, maybe it was, got a lot of work done and you finished a bunch of projects and, you've made a lot of progress. And maybe you see that through financial success. Anything, literally anything. There's always some type of learning experience from it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Going through a week in my hectic life. This week now is the final exams week. So I probably won't finish this video until after the final exams week. So it'll be a little bit delayed. But then after that, 2 weeks after that, I will have the documentary posted. That will be out. So you guys should be looking forward to that, hopefully. I have just a little bit more recording to do for that, and then I'm done. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I have for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And as I say at the end of every video, train hard, train frequently, find results. I'll see you guys next time.